And we are back. Today we're going to be talking about polygamy. A topic I didn't think I'd be talking on much on this channel, but in case for the people who don't know me, I am a fan of the Karamo show. In fact, that is the most viewed video on this channel. Was an episode of the Karamo show that we did some point last year, based off of the pink sauce, when that was a hot topic, and when Karamo decided to cash in on some of that pink sauce clout. Don't get me wrong, I cashed in on it too. But 7,000 views later, here we are, and here we are. We're back watching the Karamo show. I think the Karamo show is a great evolution of the shows of like the Maury's and the Jerry Springers, and that it's bringing both those two shows into the 21st century in a lot of ways, as this is a generation that I feel is in need of a lot of healing. That is a big thing that I think is big amongst people in my generation and the generations that have come before me. Healing is much of a more important topic nowadays. So yeah, we're gonna try out something different. We're gonna watch some Karamo, and the title of this video pretty much explains itself, why Throuples don't work. So yeah, this is gonna be about a throuple, hence why we're talking about polygamy. But yeah, here we go.
Jenna, please tell me about your relationship with Keith.
Well, it's pretty complicated. We were together for a year and a half before she decided to open our relationship to a third person.
Specific words, you said she decided.
Yes, she did.
So it wasn't your...
All right, we're going to stop right there for a second. In case you don't know how I feel, I am not a fan of polygamy. I think polygamy is not a good idea, because it's the same way how I feel about open relationships. People who know me know that I don't like open relationships. I think open relationships are generally a bad idea, because jealousy is a real thing. Odd people lead to odd feelings. Just remember that. Odd people lead to odd feelings, and it's very easy to get hurt in these kind of situations.
Your decision.
It wasn't. My love for her made me willing to try anything.
Okay, so we're not even 30 seconds in the video. I'm already picking up a few things. One, this girl looks like she has some low self-esteem issues. Now, that's not me hating on her, because a lot of people have low self-esteem issues. That's perfectly okay. I think that's very common in just in a lot of people nowadays, that we make it more prevalent and it's very more noticeable to see. But because she's saying things like, my love for her made me do it, because you can tell she's completely not on board with this idea of having a throuple. Deep down, she's not really on board with it. She seems kind of like, it seems like it wasn't her idea, that it was kind of something forced upon her, and she had to just accept it. Which, in my opinion, in any case, that is not a good way to start this kind of a relationship with anybody.
I had noticed secret conversations between them.
Yeah.
And it made me want to go through her phone, and I found out that she...
Oh, you pulled one of my stunts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't help myself.
Okay.
So they were actually discussing having a baby.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think it's safe to say she's not really... let me see. I wonder if we can backpedal a little bit.
So they were actually discussing. It made me want to go through her phone, and I found out that she...
Oh, you pulled one of my stunts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't help myself.
Okay.
So they were actually discussing having...
So yeah, so these are the other two people in this. She was there before we brought in so she was X before they brought in Y, and overall something just gives me the vibe that, like, because if they're talking about having a baby, and that she's not really all that into her, and I think she's just kind of like the security option, because deep down, when people have a chance to create love triangles, people will do it. I don't understand it so much, but it's something that people are very willing to do in a heartbeat.
Having a baby.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it got deep quick.
Yeah.
Okay, let me back it up. How were things in the beginning?
We were great. I actually left an abusive relationship before her, so she helped me find a lot of self-love and growth.
When did you two move in together?
Immediately. We were living together like within 3 weeks to a month.
I'm not gonna say nothing about stereotypes. My sisters in my community, but I've heard this story before.
Yeah.
Moving very quickly. I've heard this before. So you're also raising your kids together, right?
Yes.
Okay. How many do you have, and how old are they?
Isabella is my oldest, and then my
That's a lot of kids. Oh man, that's a lot of kids. Oh, that is a lot. Just saying. Now it's nothing extreme, but 4 kids—that's a lot.
my son.
That's a beautiful family.
And Kaylani is 4.
And Key said you'd always be number one. What did that mean?
That's the thing is I always wanted reassurance, but I never felt secure that I just wanted security that I would be.
Okay, we can tell that you haven't gotten it because you're here on the Karamo show. That's the biggest sign that okay, yeah, you have not gotten it. That number one, that's obviously some bullshit. Just calling it how I see it because you would not be here on the Karamo show if you were not feeling that you were treated as the number one.
Be her wife one day.
Yeah.
And that was an argument that we had many times since bringing Kayla in.
Got it. How do you feel about Kayla being the other girlfriend?
I like her and I enjoy her presence. It was something really hard for me to get used to, but they put way too much focus on building their connection instead of trying to get me comfortable with everything and building mine and Kayla's connection, actually.
I can agree with that. It doesn't take much to kind of see that perspective, but it's easy to see why it looks like that, especially because the way that this is shot and the way that this is set up, those two are together in a shot, but she has her own shot on stage. So like there's already some kind of connection that here between the two of them that's not really signified between the two original people, which is something that is relatively common for a throuple kind of relationship, something that you also have kind of put yourself into. But we'll continue on. We'll go more into it.
What are the things that they do behind your back?
She used to leave me with the kids and they would get to go on date nights. And
Why didn't they include you and invite you?
Okay, now that's all right. So that's completely messed up right there. She should be included in that kind of stuff. Especially if it's a three-way relationship. What people don't realize about three-way relationships is that they go 3 ways. And because it's not just not because it's just 2 people involved, because there's 3 people involved, there's more relationships that go into it.
I guess because of the kids, but there was never an option to just find a babysitter. It was kind of just, oh, I'm leaving, I'm doing this.
Okay, I gotta be real with you because I've never been in a polyamorous relationship, but I do know what it's like for the person you love to start to have an emotional connection with someone else. Did that break your heart?
It absolutely did.
Tell me about that moment because because you know it's easy to look at like, oh, this is a throuple, so like this is crazy, but like at the end of the day, your emotions are caught up. You have a family together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say it was around my birthday last year, February, that I found out they were telling each other they loved each other. And me and Kayla never got to that level. So I was
Okay, let's just call it for what I see. If they're saying all that kind of stuff, she really ain't into you. You're not. You're the third wheel in the relationship. We're not even that long in the video, but it's kind of obvious to see that you're the third wheel in the relationship. And honestly, if she's wanting to have a throuple kind of a thing, it's because she wants you as a security option. She wants you as the scapegoat, just in case if her and this other girl don't work, she got something to fall back onto. That's why y'all are in a throuple relationship. It's as simple as that. Don't get me wrong. You probably got feelings, and they're probably good, validated feelings, but those feelings don't seem to be reciprocated, if that's very much the case.
sure they were progressing without me.
Did you break up with her for a little bit?
I didn't break up with her until after the baby thing.
So when you found out that they were secretly talking about having a baby,
Yeah, that was the last straw for me.
did you ever
Doesn't seem like the last straw because you came around back. You came back.
confront them?
I confronted Key she just said like one day, like after us, or that was when I really realized how serious and how they were falling in love with each other.
So Key also, which my producer just told me, proposed to Kayla in December.
She did.
While you were broken up. Mm-hmm. How did you find out?
Okay, so let's stop right there. If that, oh man, like, why did you come back? Why did you come back? I understand wanting to make it work out for the kids. I understand that. But if you could clearly see that deep down, she's moved. I think she's moved on.
And how did you feel?
Looked online and saw Kayla saying that she was officially a fiance. And nobody really knows, but that really did break me. I was depressed for a couple days at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you and Key and Kayla back together right now?
Not officially. I'm trying to work through emotions, and
You shouldn't get back together with her. Just already based off what she's saying, and just kind of like the mad look that I'm just getting off of her face right now, just from pausing the video. Her emotional connection to you is gone. It's not there. It's not there. She is not into you like you want her to be. She is already proposing, and she has set up an engagement to this other woman. She is not into you like you want her to be into you, like you want her to be. And because of that, this is already seeming like it's not gonna work.
I feel like us all coming up front with our feelings is necessary completely to move forward.
What do you need from them to have this relationship work?
We all need an agreement of what we all want together.
Okay. Let's hear their side of the story. So everyone, please welcome Key and Kayla to the show. Hey, how are y'all doing? Please take a seat for me. So Key, I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah.
Why did you want another girlfriend?
She was lacking in some areas, but not enough.
Okay, it seems to be pretty obvious that she was lacking some areas. So because you clearly decided to go out and find another woman. So that's the case. But if that's the case, if you feel like she's lacking in the areas that you need to be fulfilled, why keep her along? So while she is trying to process her emotions, and she seems like she has gone through a lot, and keep in mind, I may sound like I've been like, talking a little, a lot with her in a little heavier kind of a tone. It's not because I don't think she's a villain or any kind of thing. It's a thing of just, I think she deserves better than these two women. But especially her. I think she definitely deserves better than her, just from this whole experience alone.
Enough to where like I wanted to leave her.
What are the areas that you felt like she was lacking?
Probably like sexually, like I was her first girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Oh wow, we got a big cut there. I wish we could have gone more into that, because I feel like there's a lot missing from this story, because it's kind of just chopped up into like a 15-minute video. But like I feel like we missed a lot right there.
So like I felt like, she didn't really, want to give me, any pleasure in that way. So like it was kind of hard. It was like one-sided. So.
Have you ever heard this? Did you know this?
I did.
Key, was another girlfriend just an excuse to cheat?
I'm not a cheater. I don't like to cheat, so I like to be
I like how
honest.
Kayla, when I asked that question, started smiling.
Right.
It feels like you were trying to cheat. It feels like you're trying to cheat, but not only that, it feels like you want to have flexible options. It's a big reason again why I'm a big advocate against polygamy. I don't think it's something that's morally right, because you can clearly see she's not happy with the idea of her being around, even though deep down it seems like she has some emotional feelings for her, and she has some great moments with her, and she seems like she has a connection with her. I'm not saying that she doesn't. It seems like she does, but she doesn't seem happy with the fact that these two are spending a lot of time together, and she feels like she's being neglected.
I to be honest. So, you know, I was like, you know, maybe we should open the relationship because maybe we could find a girl that is like not like you know. So, you know, I have the.
Well, did you ask her how she felt about an open relationship before you started it?
I feel like I did ask her and she wasn't really okay with it.
Then if she wasn't okay with it, why would you do that? That would have been the perfect opportunity to just go, okay, I think we should go our separate ways and we should end the relationship right here instead of trying to continue the relationship and keep her kind of like as the third wheel while you're going to get proposed to while you're going to propose to somebody else.
It was like a girl that she,
did
you know,
they?
she was
Did they
okay
ask?
with.
No, she brought it up like on a public forum that she wanted 2 girlfriends. That's how I found out.
There's a lot of women in the world,
right,
you know.
so that is massively wrong. That is wrong on so many levels. There should have been a conversation. Wow, that's actually pretty messed up. That's pretty messed up.
And she, you know, she likes women too, so I was like, why not?
Well, obvious because she's with you. I think that part's pretty obvious. You did not need to go into that.
You know, try.
Kayla, so you're the third in this.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore. You kind of, I saw how y'all walked out. You kind of the first.
I was about to say, I don't think she's the third. She's not the third. She's not the third anymore. She's like one of the main 2 now. She's one of the main 2. Jenna is the third. I don't know why I did that.
Person this now. So, what was it like for you when they asked you to be in this relationship?
Well, they both approached me, and it seemed like it was supposed to be a relationship. Like, I got claimed right away, and I didn't know that Jenna thought it was just going to be a fling that was temporary.
So, Key had told you that this was a relationship, but you were under the impression that we were just having a fling.
Yeah,
They both told me that.
Oh wow! So wow. Okay, so she seems completely blindsided. This is actually a little interesting.
Relationship. They found me together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were doing things with her like we would in a relationship, and Jenna was like trying to, you know, like put up walls like let's not fall in love, but like I'm a lover, so like I'm like, how do we like do everything in a relationship with this girl and then not fall in love with her?
I feel like you pressured me to like love her so fast because you guys were in love.
So
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. She seemed like she had to get used to it rather quickly. And her heart wasn't into it. And deep down, I feel like her heart is still not into it.
Kayla, how do you feel about your relationship now?
Well, I definitely have been hurt about it because I did go in wanting to love both of them, and then everything like got strewn out through the summer, and then then it was just me and Key, but then Key was like seeing Jen behind my back and lying, and both of them lying, not talking to me about it. But now I'm still open to loving her because that's how I came into it.
I want to hear what my audience has to say about this. Anybody have a comment on this?
Okay, so we're gonna skip this part. We're gonna skip this part right now. I'm just gonna say I think that the communication has not been good on all 3 ends. From the looks of it, I don't think communication has been good. The one in the middle, I feel like 1 second we can kind of get a shot of all 3 of them. I wish that we had a good shot of all 3 of them for a second. I'm not going to play the whole skip, take it to the comments thing.
You know, I think that you could have been communicated with better, right?
So, and I think, yeah, this one I feel was at fault for most of it because I think that if she really if she really wanted to explore other options, the relationship between Jenna and Key, that should have ended like right away because she doesn't seem like her heart is into it, especially because the 2 of them aren't even sitting that close to each other. They're not even sitting as close as I think as a throuple would normally sit. It's kind of just Jenna and then Kiki and Kayla have their own section together. You know, so it seems like, you know, these 2 are together and she's just the third wheel, which I've been explaining a lot in this video, but that's just from the looks of it. Wait, let's Just kind of fast forward through that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Polyamorous relationships are new for me. Kia, I'll ask you: do you think that each of those have been handled properly?
Yes, I felt like that was the main thing I was trying to do.
But it sounds like, from Jenna's point of view, the relationship you didn't focus on was you two.
Yes, that right there.
That's what it is.
I can agree with that, and I think most of the audience in the show, on the show, agrees with that too, because it definitely seems like these two have more love, especially because they got to the phase where they're saying that they love each other, and they decided to propose to each other. So obviously, these two have progressed much faster and at a much different rate than these two, and you can kind of see that in the body language.
Nail on the head.
I don't agree.
I just felt like me and you took a pause while we focused on Kayla.
Okay, what's your point of view?
I got a question for Key. So you said earlier that
Yeah, we're gonna keep skipping this.
stepping out.
But do you feel like that's a little bit of betrayal? Taking Kayla out for a second. If my partner communicates they want something, then great, yes. But then it's like, without proper time to really figure it out, to communicate, to understand, I would feel like, dang, like, wow. I don't know. That's just me. No,
I agree, and I feel like I could definitely feel the love from Jenna to Key, because clearly you're doing something in order to make Key happy. You done entered a whole can of worms that you really wasn't beat for. Am I correct or not? Correct.
I was not prepared, yeah.
Yeah, you was unprepared, like what he said. So,
thank you. All right, let's talk about this. So, Jenna, I want to know, do you feel like you can stay in this relationship?
I love them both more than I've ever loved anyone else in my life. If we could come to an agreement all together, that's different. But I don't like being told one thing and then just imagining that she's being told something else.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I tell them anything different. I want them to both feel like they're wanted, and like the baby thing. She wants a child, so like I don't feel like she should settle and not be able to have a kid because.
But that conversation should have been all three of us and
Do you
not
agree with
just
that?
us two.
Yeah, I do believe that should have been, but she was just so stuck up to like, no, I don't want her to have that with you. I don't want her to, have all that.
But you never gave me the security that I was your number one. You were telling me that, but you were showing your actions were showing different.
But you were pulling yourself away from me.
I was watching you guys fall in love.
Exactly.
And it was making me want to pull myself away.
Exactly, and you weren't putting yourself in a situation.
Why do I have to fight?
Okay, all right. So we got a lot of stuff going on there so quickly, but yeah, because it feels like deep down, what I've been saying this whole time, she has disconnected from her. Kiki is disconnected from Jenna. It's obvious. It is obvious. Like the disconnect, it is so real. You feel the disconnect from afar. You just feel it. You just know that like her love for her is not being reciprocated back. It's easy to see it. And it's kind of sad, which is why I feel like Jenna deserves so much better than her. We haven't heard much from Kayla, in my opinion, so I don't really have much to say about her. But like she seems like she's in the middle of the situation, which kind of is unfortunate for her, and I kind of feel for her. And I feel for Jenna and I feel for Kayla. I don't feel for Kiki at all. I have no sympathy for her.
You didn't have to fight for it. You the one that took yourself from the situation.
I don't like the way you react to me and yell at me and call me names. It's not a normal, basic.
Well, you don't listen to me. You are like us.
But I've seen. Well, you don't give her a reason to listen to you. I'm just saying, you don't really give her much of a reason to listen to you.
You do the same thing to her.
Yeah, she does.
So does she not listen to you? She does, right?
Yeah.
She does exactly that.
I'm not going to chase after them because they're the one who set this in motion and then are deciding to leave. So what I'm going to do to you ladies is just say this.
I agree with that. She does not want to take accountability for this whole Throuple situation that she has created. These two deserve better than her. They should just end their relationship with her, and then these two, if they wanted to get together, they should just get together. Especially because they seem like they do have some feelings for each other somewhere So like maybe they could grow it and they could have a maybe actual decent relationship without having to deal with that third end of it.
That's very sweet. That's very sweet. Very sweet. I actually, it really is sweet. Because at the end of the day, I do believe that there was love. I think you were uncomfortable and it just wasn't patient enough. You didn't get the proper communication you needed. Communication just was off there. You got to start to figure out how to move on, which you already are. They're engaged. They're in love.
Yeah.
And so you have to start making your decisions based on the facts, not based on what could be.
Right.
Because I think a lot of times in a relationship, we make these decisions on like, well, I think this could be. But like the matter is, they don't live with you anymore. They are engaged and they are happy. And part of them still wants to control something that they can't control anymore. And you just said you saw it as well. And also I would say to you, you're young, you're beautiful. And I'm not telling you to leave your fiance by any means, but I'm also going to say, watch behavior. Pattern behavior doesn't switch until someone decides that they want to actually take the steps to do the work to grow and to heal themselves. Right. And a response like walking off isn't someone who's taking the steps to grow.
No accountability.
No accountability there. Yeah. So you, as a young person, younger than two of them, watch yourself. Just watch it. Make sure you don't find yourself in a situation where now, because now you're talking about marriage, now you're talking about kids, you're talking about a lot of stuff, and this is your first relationship. Right. Okay? Again, I'm not telling you to leave, but I'm telling you to watch it and understand that if things get to a place where you see it mimicking what you saw here, and I just heard you say, yeah, that's what they do with me too. Right. That's what they do with me. So you're already picking it up. Yeah. Start to say to yourself, right. Maybe I need to go.
Say, like, I did tell Jenna, like, when we first, like, started talking again, like, I do feel, like, bad that, like, I wasn't there for her during things, because she did tell me a lot of stuff that, like, she was going through with Key. Yeah. And then I went through it, and I didn't have, like, I wished I had her next to me. So, like, I do understand why she wanted me there.
Got it. So you're both experiencing the same things. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that there is at least a support system that you all have for each other. And again, I'm not going to bash Key's character. That's never my intention here. I just hope that Key can grow and be a better partner for you, can be a better person to help you to have the relationship end in a positive way so that the kids can feel healthy. And I hope that they start to do the work on themselves. So I wish you all the best of luck.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. I think deep down, these two should just get together. They should throw Key to the curb. That would be my opinion. And Jenna and Key, they should co-parent. And then if they want to have a kid, they should. I feel like those two would be much better qualified, especially because these two, I think, have shown the more purest out of the love. So that's just my take on it. If you have a take on it, comment sections right down below. Keep in mind, more Retcon content coming out on the channel. If you enjoyed it, want to see more Karamo reactions, let me know down in the comment section. I find this show to be pretty interesting. But yeah, we'll see you next time, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.